Alright everybody, hello and welcome as always. I am Sean and this is In The Mixer, episode 82. Happy Tuesday, wherever in the world you're watching from, even if you're not watching this on a Tuesday, watching it in a playlist after the fact, later in the week, whatever it happens to be. I hope you're having a good week and surviving the chaos that is the world at the moment as best as you can. We are flying so far early in the season. Of course, if you haven't gone and watched yesterday's episode, go and check that one out. It goes through the full squad for Season 2 in the Championship. It introduces you to the new players, slightly different structure, some different player roles, all that sort of stuff as well. And we've continued working our way through the early season fixtures. We're not going to waste too much time though. Let's jump straight into the game now. So as you guys can see, we're currently sitting in the playoff picture. 4th position, 7 games played, 4 wins, 1 draw, and 2 defeats in that time. Both defeats, I think we probably could have done better in, and I definitely think we could have done better in the 1 draw against Brentford as well. If we have a look at the schedule, of course, in that last episode, losing 1-0 to Stoke, I think potentially if we had that game again now, we'd probably do a little bit better. I think the team's a little bit more settled now. We, of course, missed a penalty in that game as well. Disappointing, but it's fine. These things happen. We then beat Crystal Palace 1-0. They're really struggling this season, down towards the bottom of the division. George Escobar, the centre-back, got a header from a set-piece routine, I think it was, a very deep free kick. And that was enough to put us in our way. We then rotated our squad entirely, and I didn't pick any subs to try and get out of the Carabao Cup as quickly as possible. So we played our weakest possible lineup, and thankfully lost 2-0, so we don't have to worry about that competition anymore. We can focus more on the FA Cup, focus more on the league season, and I think so far we're doing quite well. Sheffield United were flying when we played them. They got a goal in the 78th minute through Mohamed Salisu, and then we made some tactical tweaks, used a shout. De Vargas scored in the 85th minute, and Madrigal on debut in the 87th to get us a 2-1 come from behind victory against them away from home. A fantastic result. We then comfortably beat Preston. We should have won by more than what we actually did. Jose Crespo's shot was their one shot on target for the game, and it was an absolute screamer. Benezi and thankfully Raphael getting his first goal for the club due to a defensive mistake, like a back pass to their goalkeeper was short, and he found the finish. Wigan beat us 2-1. This felt a little bit against the run of play. If we go and look at the stats, it's probably a little bit more even than what I'm saying, but we had all the shots, we had all the highlights, we had everything on target that we could get. Their centre-back got the Man of the Match award, which I think usually speaks volumes for how much pressure you're putting them under, and it was really a couple of counter-attacking, scrappy goals that they got. I think the winner was eventually like one strike was closed down and the deflection just fell to Aidan Bingal, who's been a bit of a pain in the ass for us over the last couple of seasons. And when you look at like the key highlights created, we created a lot more than they did throughout the course of the game. So disappointing in that one. But, you know, defeat's going to happen. We're playing against quality opposition week in, week out. We then beat Barnsley 2-1, a very solid performance. They pulled the goal back late, but we pretty much had everything sorted by then. And then we did draw 1-1 with a very strong Brentford lineup. Brentford's probably underwhelming a little bit so far this season. They're sitting down in 15th. I think they have a very, very good squad. So no shame in going away from home and only coming away with a point. Luciano Ramirez getting his first goal for the team before Tyrese John-Jules, who is one of the players that was in the Media Dream 11 at the start of the year, got an equaliser on 79 minutes. It sets up nicely to play Birmingham, who are in 14th today at home, and Millwall, who are up in 5th as well, doing quite nicely after getting promoted from League One last year. Even though we are in 4th, it is still very tight. You can see quite a few teams here on 13, 12, 11, 10 points. So very quickly, if we have a poor run of form, we could drop down the division very easily. Interestingly, no one's undefeated in 7 games, which usually you see like 1 or 2 teams that are kind of flying and haven't had a loss during that side. But I think it just goes to show how level the division actually is, that so many teams are taking points off each other week in, week out. And while we could kind of started poorly, we've gone on a good little run since then to move ourselves up the division as quickly as possible. And if we get 6 points in this episode, who knows what could happen? We are only 2 points off Ipswich in top spot. They've got a very similar record. But again, early days, we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. As far as the squad's concerned, we have tried to rotate as much as possible throughout the early season fixtures as everyone gets back into the rhythm of playing games each week. We have changed a couple of little things tactically. I've got the Wolf currently playing as a deep line playmaker, and we've gone to a pressing forward up top, which seems to be creating a little bit more pressure on the defensive line. Eduardo de Vargas will come in as that pressing forward. Hernandez de Vargas will come in as that pressing forward. Raphael just struggling a little bit over the first couple of appearances that he's made. He'll continue to contribute off the bench and he'll continue to get his opportunities later in the season. But otherwise, a lot of our partnerships are starting to work. The left and the right-hand sides are starting to work together quite nicely. That consistency of player at fullback and in the wing. Hassani and Wolf are working a nice little combination, and Escobar and Grosca are working a nice partnership at the back as well. If Benezi and De Vargas can get something similar going up front, I think we're in great stead. We have also been alternating. Away from home, we've been going with our positive tactic. For home games, we've been going attacking from the off, really trying to press that advantage and get goals early to seal the fixtures. So far, it's working, and we're going to apply both the attacking structures to both our home games today. Transfers, quick update. We have got a couple of players that are going to be joining at the end of the season. This guy, Marcos de Almeida, he won't join for another 2 seasons. We'll give him a face pack once he's ready to go. Only 16 years of age, good left winger. We're taking a bit of a gamble that we've signed him 2 years in advance. My hope is that this 2-star current ability will be closer to like 3 or 4-star by the time he actually arrives. Javier Aguirre will join in the off-season. Everybody loves a Spanish playmaker. He can play it a bit deeper. He can play at the 10. He's got wonderful technical attributes. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what he'll do. He's joining from Athletic Bilbao. Zoran Ilic, Serbian left winger, is joining from Partizan Belgrade. He usually plays a little bit deeper, but we got him relatively cheap at 3-star current ability and 5-star potential. I think he's going to be wonderful for us. And if he can continue working to play a little bit further forward, he will fit straight into our existing tactic. And then Gihon Benchop already looks like a wonderful right fullback prospect. We are very settled at right wing back. Trueblood's been doing tremendously well, but I think Gihon Benchop was on the market and we already had a bit accepted, so it'll be good to bring him in. We can work him into being a complete wing back. We can maybe change up our formation to go to wing backs on defend if needed. And he's still got another year to go before he actually arrives. He's already at 3.5-star current ability. I think he'll be a star by the time he actually gets to the side. Otherwise, everyone's progressing quite nicely. We've got a couple of players now moving up towards 4-star current ability. Escobar, Hosseini, Benizzi, and nearly De Vargas. I think he might have just dropped off in the last couple of weeks, already there. He's at 3.5-star, as is Trueblood, Kubis. We're getting quite a few of these players just by mere exposure to first-team football. Already seeing them improve quite a bit in terms of their average match ratings and all that sort of stuff. So for us, it's an unchanged lineup. You guys did see it, but just to quickly recap, Kubis, of course, in goal. Escobar and Greisinger as the central defensive partnership. Escobar currently pending a yellow card suspension, which will come at some point. Curse and Trueblood as the 2 wing backs. Davies and Ramirez on the wing in front of them. Hosseini and Wolf. Wolf, of course, wearing the captain's armband this season. Hosseini has been our highest average rated player throughout the course of the year. Benizzi at the 10 and Vargas leading the line up front. They're playing a very similar 4-2-3-1, but with 2 defensive midfielders instead of 2 central midfielders. Lane, their captain, looks to be a solid regen type player who they've had for quite a few seasons at Birmingham. He looks fairly decent, good mental attributes, good physical attributes, and you don't need much technically from a centre-back, but he seems to be all right there as well. Moise Ramirez is an Ecuadorian goalkeeper that they've picked up from Real Sociedad at some point. He looks to be a fairly solid goalkeeper, nothing super spectacular there. Leading line up top, Bobby Finlay, who's a fantastic name, usually an inverted winger on the right-hand side. They're instead using him as a forward at the moment, so maybe they're losing a couple of players to early season form, fitness, injuries, all that sort of stuff. There's no one here that's being marked out as their highest average rating. There's no one here that's being marked out as their leading scorer. So maybe they're taking us a little bit lightly and rotating. But we're going to go after it assertively. We're going to say, great opportunity to show the media they're right to back you up. And if we can have this episode with 2 games at home and get 6 points, I think it's an early way to get that monkey off our back for this championship season and also set ourselves up nicely to go on a little early season run up the table. Ball in here from a corner, header from Smith, so early warning signs from Birmingham. That backstick run seems to consistently cause us issues. We might have to adjust some of our set-piece routines as the season continues. Being a young squad, you just don't seem to deal with set-pieces as well as I think some older players in the squad might do. Corner for us now, at the other end, Luciano Ramirez, deep ball across. It's a good header from Hosseini, but straight at Ramirez in the Birmingham goal, and the highlight comes to an end. Throw in right-hand side, Birmingham's way. Blair with the ball, someone's got to go to him. So he goes back to the fullback and Rooney. It's a good deep ball across and Barron on the right-hand side gets the foot to it to push that one home at far post. Disappointing that we didn't get out to the cross quick enough. Everyone just stands off Blair here for a moment. He doesn't hit the ball originally and then he plays it back to Rooney. No one gets tight again. He just hangs that ball into a good space, to be fair, in between the penalty spot and 6-yard box at back post. Curse doesn't get there first and Barron side foots that one home for a 1-0 lead for Birmingham. We're through 30 minutes. We're going to use our Get Creative shout. We haven't really seen much in terms of highlights for us yet, but if we can try and recover and get something back before half-time, we'll be in good shape. 1 minute to be added on, and we're through that now. So at half-time, we've had 8 shots, 4 on target, 57% of the ball, but we are a goal down. They've had 4-2 and 43, which is easy for me. I can aggressively say I expect to see a much better showing from you in the second half. Everyone's responded positively. If we've got half-time match ratings, Curse is struggling, Escobar is struggling, Benizzi's not had much of an impact. So we'll give them 15 minutes to try and pick themselves back up. And if things stay as they are, a goal down, we'll definitely go for 3 subs with 30 minutes remaining. Curse with a throw-in on the left here. Good little interplay there with Benizzi. Finds Ramirez. Plays across to Trueblood, and that's his first goal for the club. A wonderful strike from the edge of the area. We'll check this one out in 3 dimensions. But the young US Youth International has met that one first time with a wonderful effort. Benizzi, then Ramirez, and I thought maybe he'd underhit the cross a little bit, but Trueblood arrives first time, and his technique is fantastic to get that one down and back across the goal. Does very well. Keeper couldn't scramble across to find the save. and we get an equaliser just inside the second half. All right, through now. I'm just going to go with 2 subs. I'll hold off the last one till the end. I'm going to bring on Raphael and play him as an advanced forward, which is his preferred role. I'm also going to bring on Taylor at centre-back because Escobar's been struggling a little bit. Passionately will say I've got faith in you guys to make the difference. Both have responded positively. And we're going to use our Get Creative shout. Old Faithful after an hour. It usually seems to work. If we can push on and find a winner here, we will be in good shape. All right, I'm going to get a bit wild with it. 10 minutes remaining. We're going to bring on Barry at left wing back, which he can do. It does mean Curse will drop off to the bench. Assertively will say I've got faith in you to make a difference, and I'm also going to use our Get Creative shout again to try and push through a resolution here. If we go after it and try and find one more highlight, otherwise this one's been relatively boring. They've got a corner, and Martin Friend, first goal of the season. Fabian Barron, who scored the first goal, gets the assist there as well. We've seen 2 highlights for Birmingham. They've scored from both of them. We haven't had a tremendous amount either, to be fair, but statistically we've been on top, and it's a poor near post header there. Who is that player? It's Hosseini, who's just missed the header. 4 minutes to be added on here. Is there going to be any late drama to try and turn this one around? And you can already see just that one result drops us right down the table. In the end, 11 shots, 6 on target, 56% possession. They had 7, 3, and 44. 2-1 defeat, not great. Let's go and say aggressively not happy with the result. They are a side that has been struggling so far this year, so it's not good. And as we know, it doesn't matter form. Like, once you save the game, once you load it up, once you go to record, anything can happen. FC Isle of Man fall to late defeat. Fabian Barron gets the Man of the Match award with an 8.4 rating. And that automatically drops us back down to 9th position. So we fall off quite a bit just because of early season form and fitness and all that sort of stuff. Ipswich continue to win. They go 5 points above us, but it is still early doors. Magic of editing. We do have an opportunity to get it back against Millwall. We're going to jump forward to that game now. Right, so a little bit of a different screen. We're going to keep the faith with the same team because they've done quite well in the early part of the season so far, but I'm going to change a couple of player roles. I'm going to put Wolf to play as a supporting deep line playmaker as well, and DeVargas to play as a deep line forward on support. It means we don't have anyone in the lineup that's currently set to attacking, but I'm hopeful that the overall squad instruction of being attacking will see them getting into the box and that sort of stuff. We're going to see how it goes. Think of this as kind of like a test environment. We're just going to put on our lab coats. We're going to figure out what's happening. We're going to have a look at how the team structure works. And if we find something great, fantastic. Looking at Millwall's lineup, it's a flat 4-4-2. They've got Albie Morgan in midfield, who's a wonderful young English prospect at Charlton at the start of most of your saves. If you can pick him up early, he can become a very good player. It's not uncommon to see him get England caps at any point in his career. And Fraser Hornby, who's another good young English player. I think he's also eligible for Scotland potentially. Whether he plays for them or not, I'm not entirely sure, but he's a good player at Everton at the start of everyone's games. Sirachi, the left back, they've picked up at some point from Red Bull Salzburg, I think it is. Red Bull Leipzig, apologies. He's their captain, 31-year-old now. Left wing back looks to be fairly solid, but I think we should be able to beat these guys passionately. Media have given you a lot of credit lately. It seems to consistently work. It seems a little bit boring when you click the same button each episode, but it seems to consistently work, so we're going to keep going with it because I need 3 points. Ball in behind here for Davies, who hasn't had the best month or so here. I think he's starting to find his ceiling. Trueblood's been good though, and he's got the ball now. Squares it up to Benezi. Ball across to Vargas, and Wolf tries the strike from the edge of the area. Hosseini hits the bar, and then Davies was in the area. But Sirachi, who we spoke about in the build-up, scrambles it away for the corner. Good play though, good build-up, good way to start the game. Ramirez with the corner, Greisinger front post just over the crossbar. Brown with a deep free kick from Millwall. First highlight we've seen from them. It's flicked on. I'm not sure who actually got their head to that, but just past the far post. Statistically, we're well and truly on top here in the first 30 minutes, but that didn't matter in the last game. I'm going to demand more for the next 15. A couple of players have responded pressured, a couple have responded focused, so they're not quite there yet in terms of being used to the shouts that I use throughout the course of a game. I've got a deep throw in here. Curse plays Benezi. Now Curse again. Back to Benezi. Can he try and find the ball in? Curse, deep one across towards DeVargas, who gets the header, but just over the crossbar. I think the keeper was there, though. He had it covered even if it had been on target. 1 minute to be added on. We're through that now. So at halftime, 13 shots, only 2 on target and 54% possession. They've had 2 shots, but none on target as yet. It's pretty good. Assertively, I'm going to say I'm happy with the performance so far. Keep it up. We just want to try and keep morale as high as humanly possible. We are still early in the season. I don't want anyone to start panicking just yet. But if we have all the statistical dominance and we can't turn it into consistent wins, that's kind of a big issue. 30 minutes remaining. I'm going to make 2 subs. Hosseini, who's been excellent all season, struggling in this one, only 6.3. We're going to bring on George Madrigal and play him as like a central midfielder on attack, just to try and get him joining the forward line a little bit more. I'm also going to move DeVargas to be a deep line forward on attack, which is his preferred role, but not necessarily attacking setting. And I'm going to bring on Dorber on the right-hand side because Davies just isn't in form at the moment. Assertively, I have faith in you guys. We'll hold on to that last sub for the last 10 minutes or so. I'm going to use our Get Creative shout as well. Everyone seems inspired, which is great. We just need 1 goal, boys. That'll be enough to get us through in this one, I feel. Throw in right-hand side here for Millwall. Hornby. Madrigal does well to win the ball back in the corner. Played into Benezi, who can turn and dribble a little bit. Instead, he's gone over the top, but De Vargas was in the area. It's cleared away. Dorba off the bench should pick up the ball now. Steps inside and looks out left towards Ramirez. Beats one man. Can he square it up? Instead, he goes to strike himself from wide areas. Wingers shooting from wide areas is just, it's the worst thing about this game this year. All right, 10 minutes remain. We're going to bring on Raphael, send him to advance forward, his preferred role, see if he can be the person that finds a goal for us. And we're also going to use our demand more shout. We've got a corner here. Dorba to take. It's headed away. Benezi should recover at the top of the box. Played out left again. Dorba will do well to keep it in, and does. Squares it to Ramirez. Square to Benezi, and he finds the finish, his 2nd goal for the club. Our record signing, £4 million worth of player. Only 2 goals so far this season, but that is going to be a big one for us if it secures the 3 points. Dorba did tremendously well to keep this in, to be fair to him. And then a nice little square pass in there to Ramirez. He squares it up nicely, and Benezi meets it first time to smash it back across the goalkeeper on that left peg. And we get a goal and a lead to try and defend. If we find a highlight here and Millwall get their first shot on target and their first goal, I'll probably retire as a content creator. 4 minutes to be added on here. We've got a throw in, very deep in our own half. Curse into Benezi. Curse across to Raphael. He gets the flick on header and it clips the crossbar on its way over. Keeper was there though. I think he had it covered. Any late highlights to be seen here? They've recovered possession just inside the halfway line. Good header away from Escobar, but Gunner's going to recover in midfield. Ball over the top to Jackson. Flicked onto White from the wide angle, and thankfully clips the outside of the post as it goes out. Still no shots on target for Millwall. And the referee has thankfully called full time. It's a 1-0 win. It's a scrappy performance. 27 shots, 8 on target, 57% of the ball. We should probably be finishing a bit better than that. They had 6 shots, none on target, and 43% possession. I'm still going to praise everyone. Well done, lads. Good win for us. I just want to try and keep morale as high as possible in the early part of the season. And Luciano Ramirez with his assist gets the Man of the Match award in that one. Harris is amazed they failed to win. You had no shots on target, mate. Post-match press conference, the assistant can do that. That immediately throws us right back up into 3rd position on the table. Imagine if we had got 3 points in that game against Birmingham, how much better off we'd be doing. But Ipswich are the early pace setters. We're only behind Blackburn on goal difference. There's a whole bunch of teams still here on 15, 14, 13 points that could leapfrog us at any moment. But so far, it's been a relatively good start to the season. Nothing to complain about at all. As far as the schedule's concerned, I think we'll probably jump forward a month again and maybe play Huddersfield and Derby in the next 2 games. It does mean we've got some big clubs that we're going to kind of skip past. Aston Villa, of course. Fulham coming down from the higher division. Swansea, who always give us trouble. And then Huddersfield and Derby in the next episode. As always, guys, thank you for the continued support on the channel. The part that means the most to me is that you've taken the time to actually watch this. That's awesome to see. If you wanted to go that extra mile, be that extra team player, put in 110%, you can drop a like on this video to get us higher in that YouTube algorithm, get us higher in search results, grow the community a little bit more. Or you can subscribe to the channel to be kept up to date on all our videos as they continue to release. We've had a really good clip in 2020. Hopefully that run continues for quite a while just yet. But like I said at the start, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate that part the most. I've been Sean, and I'll see you all again in the mixer.